Well, good morning once again, everyone. Today seems like it's going to be the day that we start putting the ash on the ceiling. So I hope everybody enjoyed the first couple minutes of this video, and we will get on with the hanging of the ash. Okay, so I snapped a chalk line all the way across at 5 5/8. That's going to be my reference line for a start piece on the material. And because of the openings, I got a 4 foot roughly, and then an 8 foot roughly, and then another 4 foot on the end. I wanted to make sure I come out at the peak there the same height. Couple pieces up, but first I'm going to sit back and enjoy a cup of coffee now that the stove is heated up, coffee's made, place is about 60 degrees, 12 degrees outside. So I'll have that cup of coffee and then hit it hard. Well, once again, good morning, everyone. I was working out of town for the last week, so I didn't get down here at all. But we left off last week starting a tongue and groove. As you see, I got a little bit up there. This side's up past the beam, around that beam. This side's half the beam covered, and that's about where my compressor died. It was another DeWalt, but it was a twin tank one. I decided I'd try this little pancake compressor out and see how that works. So I'm going to kind of continue on here. This stuff is not end matched, meaning it doesn't have that groove in. I got to create them, because I don't think a miter would be clean enough to not be seen. So instead of trying to hide them, we just make them stand out. So this first one, I just square up the edge with the miter itself instead of double cutting. Seeing how these ends are not real square. And then I come back with a 45 in the opposite direction, just connecting with the edge of the bevel on the groove side. And that will be our lap. Put a little oil on that edge so I don't have to do it after it's up. Let that soak in for a second and then just wipe it off. That way I don't have a lot of lighter parts pieces on here. So then that lap with the 45 on the back side and the 45 on the front side will just lap up and give us our end match. And I can just nail that one in place. Taylor. Anyhow, I'll come back when I get a little further. It seems like every video I get somebody, at least one person, to comment on why I don't have a vapor barrier on here. I'll pull back a piece of this insulation just to show. As you see, I've got polyiso behind it, which is a closed cell insulation, and then I spray foamed all the cracks and crevices. And that is my vapor barrier. And if I went and put plastic up and over this, there'd be a possibility that I could trap moisture in the wall cavities, creating mold, mildew, rot. And because I don't have a cordless brad nailer, I'm using my air-powered 15 gauge nailer for putting these on, using 1 3/4 brads. I like the 15 gauge because they seem to have just a hair bigger head and they don't pull through as easy. Well guys, that pretty much concludes this video, I guess. As you can see, I got one side of the ceiling done, minus some trim. Now on the remainder of these walls, because I don't have poly right behind it, I think I can get away with using mold resistant drywall. Again, I wanted that back wall pretty much fireproof, so I used cement board. That'll also be on the floor, and then I ran it down along the front wall for wainscot, and that is going to get a heavy knockdown style of stucco where the drywall will all be smooth. I can paint that and maybe dye the concrete stucco. Anyhow, I just want to thank everybody for sticking around and continuing watching these and supporting the channel. But we will see everybody on the next video.